Hey guys, how are you all doing today? I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about my experience with Kratom. Um, I think it's a miracle. I also think I wish it was around 20 years ago. And, I think it's really sad that, the DEA and other organizations, tried to ban it. Like it was a bad thing. And the reason I say that is because, a lot of us that end up with addiction to opiates, it starts through pain. And I don't care how you slice it or dice it, when you have enough pain for, when you treat pain through pain management for long enough, addiction comes along with that. There's no way around it. I really don't care who you are. It's got the best of us, But when you're in pain and you don't have much of a choice, a lot of us we get caught up in that world, through painkillers and pain management and such like that. Nonetheless, and that's how it began for me. My back and my knees and whatnot. But I'll say this, the journey that I had went on after becoming addicted, it's just amazing that I'm even still alive. And that's the God's honest truth, I think that speaks for us all because so many people, it's like every week I hear of somebody that I know that passed away, OD'd, We just buried my wife's cousin a month ago, and that's just the newest one that I know about. But nonetheless, had he found Kratom, it might not have happened. And the reason I say that is because you go to a doctor, nobody tells you about Kratom. They don't have pamphlets out about it. The only way you find out about it is videos like this, and that's Kratom, Kratom. And nonetheless, you would think that the governments and even law enforcement and whatnot would be wanting to educate more people on Kratom, an alternative route, a herb, if you will, that you can treat pain with, as well as addiction. It's amazing. It does not get you high, but the biggest part a lot of us go through is the beginning effects, which is withdrawal. Withdrawal starts with the legs and the sneezing and you guys know what I'm talking about. And then it goes on with weeks and weeks of on end without sleep, And then this amazing amount of depression kicks in. It's just it lasts a very long time, and to go through all that cold turkey, it's damn near impossible. And I mean that. I never could. Unless you resort to methadone or they got Suboxone now. You can't get through that shit and live life, So anyway, methadone was a route that I took. I was probably on methadone for like 20 years, and I was able to be a good father, a good husband. I was able to function and live life, and I was okay because it made me feel okay, It was my antidepressant, if you will, because antidepressants to me made me feel worse. I don't know if any of you can relate on that one, but the side effects are just, I'm tired enough in the mornings, but you throw that on top of it, I can't function. So, anyway, I'm going back and forth a little bit. I apologize. I found Kratom through just kind of exploring YouTube, and I just heard it on a whim in a conversation, and I looked a little more into it and a little more, and I looked up Kratom and the goods and the bads and everything like that. And I learned as much as I could about it. I told my wife about it, and she always has faith in me. She says, if you really think it'll work, let's try it. And that's what I love about her. She almost is willing to, believe in me, or believe in whatever I believe in. So nonetheless, the more I researched, the more I seen. I found the incident where the DEA was going to ban it on and schedule it as a, class 2, or it would have been illegal, basically, and a great man by the name of Chris. I'll think of it soon, but he lobbied for the great people that needed Kratom in their life on the Joe Rogan show, and Joe Rogan really put it out there for people, and that they needed help. They needed so many signatures. They had a protest, and they had a couple 100,000 people show up, and it was just absolutely amazing. So they indeed, and the DEA was getting flooded with so many emails they couldn't keep up. People that needed it in their life, and they tried to say that so many people had OD'd because of Kratom, and it's all bullshit, because every one of those cases had heroin in their system, methadone in their system, a whole lot of other things in their system, just because Kratom was there also, they tried to make it look like, people died from it, which is absolutely bullshit. You can't possibly OD on it. So, and those are the type things that they like to put out there, because Big Pharma wants to keep selling their stuff, and if too many people start this miracle thing called Kratom, it hurts their pocket big time. So nonetheless, they lobbied for it. They got the ban, or it wasn't banned yet, but they got the date it was going to be banned. They got it lifted. I unfortunately think there's going to be problems down the road. It scares me, But I started watching a whole lot more videos about people's experiences and where they're at today because of Kratom. And at that time when I watched that, this has been a ways back, when I watched it, I was still, an everyday methadone participant, that was my life, and I pretty much thought till the day I died that was going to be in my life, and I accepted it, and I was okay with it, because the alternative was going back to shooting dope, and in that life, I don't ever want to go back there, but here's the thing, some of you know, some of you don't, but the withdrawal of methadone compared to the withdrawal of, say, heroin or painkillers or whatnot, the difference being methadone lasts for months, absolutely months. I remember I went to jail. I had a 60-day sentence, and I was on 110 milligrams of methadone at the time. And this was years back, but you know, years prior to that, when I had went in there, you know, withdrawing from heroin and whatnot, you know, 60 days, I mean, I'm a new man, you know, everything has passed, I'm sleeping now, and things like that. Methadone, you know, I hear from different people, it could take up from 6 months to a year for things to get right, you know, and that scared me, because that's a long time, you know. So anyway, I went in there, did my 60 days. I think I was in there between 40 to 50 days in the middle of there. And I got out, and I was still unbelievably feeling the effects of withdrawing from methadone. I felt this unbelievable weakness. I mean, just so weak. It's hard to even describe, you know. I just, to walk from here to there 10 feet just took everything, you know, and I still didn't have my appetite. I was in a bad way. And short thereafter, when I got out, you know, I picked back up on the methadone, because it was awful, and the depression that comes along with it is like no other. You know, I mean, you know, I have depression anyway, but when you threw that on top of it, it was absolutely excruciating. And it scared me in the way of, am I ever going to be off of methadone again? You know, I was thinking to myself, realistically, if it takes this long to feel better, am I ever going to do it? You know, and I really didn't think so. And I started hearing stories, people, you know, you can look it up on YouTube, people that struggled with different things, but experiences of people that went from methadone to Kratom. And that's what I wanted to know about at that time, you know. Will it make you feel better? Or what? More importantly, will it make you feel normal to where you don't got to go through all that? And I started seeing success stories of people having a year, 2 years, you know, away from methadone, you know, and Kratom was like their cure, their miracle, you know. And that's what really made me want to give it a go, you know, and I can't say enough good things about it. I really can't, you know. I mean, it comes from the tree-wise, because it's tree leaves, but it comes from the coffee family, you know. It's in that family, and they've been using it in Indonesia and other countries for hundreds of years for pain, you know. And like I say, you know, it starts with pain, and it ends up with it as addiction, you know, because withdrawal is worse than any pain you could even imagine. You know, I'd rather have back leg pain all day long than withdrawing. I mean, withdrawal is just, ugh. And those of you that know, you know what I'm talking about again. But anyway, if you haven't heard of Kratom, you know, and you're struggling, put it in your life. I'm telling you. You know, I myself, you know, if you struggle from depression and you're not hooked on, you know, and you don't have a habit per se, on, you know, anything, but your depression just ruins your days, and depression's really bad. Kratom works great for that as well. I'm telling you, you know, try it. You know, give it a go. And don't buy from the smoke shops and all that, because all they got is the cheapest shit that's unregulated, and I started with that. It messes with your stomach, gives you gas, makes you feel like shit. Order it from a online, a real place. I heard about a place called Tops Extract. That's who I order from personally, and I had learned that off of watching different people on YouTube videos, and that's what I heard a couple of people saying. It's cleaner, no stomach pains whatsoever. So and then and Joe Rogan, and I wish I could think of the guy's last name, Chris Bell. He's a true advocator for Kratom. If it wouldn't be for him, I think it would be banned right now. So if he ever sees that video, thanks, Chris. We owe you. You saved a lot of lives. So nonetheless, when he got on Joe Rogan's show, and for Joe Rogan to be willing to help, he's just I love Joe Rogan. He's my favorite. I watch his videos all the time. He's just got this I don't know, he inspires me. He don't try to act like a big shot. He just tries to tell you to be all you can, man. Don't hold back, and do all you can. And it's inspired me to a point to where I'm trying to live life, positively and things. And that's what a lot of my videos are about. Living life with a positive direction, just a positive attitude. It's and that, along with the Kratom, has turned my life to a point that I don't know. I didn't think I would ever be here, and I'm proud to say I'm happy. We're getting ready to go on a trip in 2 days. My wife and I are going to Tampa Bay, Florida. My niece lives there, and I'm excited, And if I was on a methadone program or something, you can't go on vacation, unless you get approved places, or you trip somewhere, and let's face it, we all don't want to go through that shit. I want to go on vacation or something. So I don't have to do that, thankfully. And also, a lot of my old friends and people that I still know that struggle on an everyday basis, not one person, not one of them had ever heard of Kratom. And that's what I mean by, we need to start somehow, agencies need to start letting people know about it, this can help you, it can change your life, if it can get you off painkillers, heroin, or methadone, and out of pain as well, wow, that sounds like a miracle to me, and has been a miracle to me. I'm just so grateful, and I want other people to feel the way I'm feeling. I want to save lives, I want people to be more positive. I just want to love people, because that's what makes me feel better. It does. It makes me feel good to help another person. Whether it's handing a guy $1, that's at the light, that has a homeless sign and whatnot. Don't judge what you think he's going to do with that $1. It's not about that. It's about you helping another. If he chooses to do that, that's on him. It's not on you. anytime that I can spare a dollar to children's hospital funds and things like that at the store, I always do it, you know, even if it's my last dollar, you know, because I tell you, you put that positive energy out in the world, and positive energy seems to come back at you in different ways. And my blessing so far has been just to be in a positive role to make this video, maybe to help some people, you know. But do your research on it yourself, and they got different strains of it, you know, green, white, and red, different strains of the kratom leaf. They say, you know, people with opiate issues and whatnot have had most success on green, which is a mixture of white and white and red. I think red's more of a sedative. It makes you very sleepy, and white is energetic. You know, gives you a lot of energy. You know, and sometimes I like white. You know, sometimes white is what I need to be a go-getter. You know, to give me a little energy on them down days. We all have them. I probably have them 4 out of 7 days a week, you know, but the difference is, you know, I push myself to get up and push on with my day, and I'm just at a good place. I just really want to share it with the world. I want to, you know, I want to meet people. If anybody ever wants to communicate with me, you could email me at Shawn Brozini at gmail.com, and that's spelled ShawnBrozini at gmail.com. Email me, tell me what you think. Subscribe to my videos, you know, but, you know, email me, and who knows, maybe we'll all get together and share our success stories, you know. That would be nice, don't you think? It's nice to have a foundation of people and whatnot. You know, I have friends that are in the rooms, you go through the 12 steps and whatnot, but that's not my, I didn't continue on with that. You know, I took things that I learned in the program, you know, of my turning things over and things like that. You know, so I definitely don't look towards it. It helps a lot of people, saves millions of lives. You know, kratom and this positive mindset, and, you know, change your attitude and your direction. It changed mine. And that unbelievable, you know, them times when you get clean, you have a week or two clean, but you cannot get it out of your head. Man, if I could do a little bit more, I'd feel so much better. Man, I'd feel so much better if I just had one more, you know. And that's the problem I always had when I would get clean, you know. That voice would never go away, you know. And you know, I pitied people that had to go through that, you know. But kratom takes that shit right away. It removes that craving, I'm telling you. Yeah, subscribe to my channel, please. I'm gonna put some more videos out. This was just one I wanted to share about my kratom experience. I'll talk to you guys later.